Good evening. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel, where it is time for Championship Week 2 predictions. The Championship returned with an absolute bang at the weekend with a lot of interesting results. But how did we all do? Let's find out. I managed to get 8 points. And I had 2 perfect scores in there. Blackpool to beat Reading by 1-0. And also Middlesbrough, West Brom to be a 1-1 draw. There was one top scorer in the comments who actually beat me, and very, very well done. Very, very well done to Bailey Francis, who managed to get 9 points in there. So very, very well done, Bailey. You were the top scorer for the week. So obviously get your predictions down in the comments section for all the games going across the bottom of your screen. So get your predictions down in the comments. And we'll obviously speak about every game in full as well. So the first one on Friday evening is Birmingham City against Huddersfield Town. Birmingham managed to get a 0-0 draw with Luton Town. Huddersfield, I mean, the less said about Huddersfield's performance against Burnley, the better, let's just say. But Birmingham, I mean, John Ruddy did keep them in the game against Luton Town. They didn't really have many chances, to be honest, Birmingham, but I have to say that John Ruddy was probably man of the match in that game. A number of fantastic saves from Luton, especially Alan Campbell, when he had to go very, very quickly down to his near post, and he managed to get it. So very, very well done to John Ruddy in the Birmingham goal, and defied the odds by playing that game. So very, very well done to him. Huddersfield, very poor, very, very poor against Burnley. Very poor. I have to say as well that it wasn't the best performance from Huddersfield. They just never turned up. They never turned up, and I know, and obviously Danny Schofield is obviously new to this managerial malarkey, but he definitely needs to improve this game, because if I'm being honest, Huddersfield were definitely not in the game. So I expect a few changes for the game on Friday evening against Birmingham City. And if I'm being honest, I think the changes that will probably come in, I think will be beneficial to Huddersfield. And I'm going to go for them to go to St Andrews and carve out a 1-0 victory. Birmingham City 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Now, two sides were on the end of contrasting results. Norwich City against Wigan Athletic. Norwich, surprisingly, lost 1-0 to Cardiff. And Wigan Athletic drew 0-0 with Preston North End. First of all, Norwich, they will be without their captain, Grant Hanley, who was shown 2 yellow cards against Cardiff. And look, I have to say, Norwich were pretty poor, I thought, against Cardiff. Obviously, having watched the highlights, I didn't really see much of their attacking flair. And this is my worry with Norwich, is Dean Smith's been there a while now. I don't really see much of a difference in this side. I just don't, unfortunately. But surprising away defeat to Cardiff, because fair play to Cardiff, they actually played very, very well in that game, and caught Norwich off guard, it has to be said. But yeah, back at Carroll Road, I think Norwich should be looking to win this one. Wigan, fair play to them, 0-0 against Preston. Ben Amos was probably man of the match in that game. A number of wonderful saves, especially from Troy Parrott in that game as well. So very, very well done to Wigan. First point on the board, and that is what they want as well. But going to Carroll Road, it is a very, very difficult place to go to. Norwich are pretty good at Carroll Road, and especially when it comes to the Championship. I'm going to go for a home win in this one. I think Norwich City will be too comfortable for Wigan Athletic. I'm going to go for Norwich City 2, Wigan Athletic 0. Now, two sides who, again, were on the end of contrasting results. Bristol City against Sunderland. Bristol City lost by 2-1 against Hull City. Controversially, it has to be said. And obviously, when I speak about Bristol City, I mean, they were on the end of an absolutely shocking penalty decision I can't remember the guy's name, but he went down like a sack of potatoes. Basically, was tackled and then went down in stages, and the referee gave a penalty, obviously. And then Jean-Michel Seri scored the winning goal for Hull to beat Bristol City by 2-1. So in that game, I think they would have felt a little bit hard done by. It has to be said. Sunderland 1-1 draw with Coventry. Jack Clark opened the scoring, only for Gyökeres to equalise for Coventry. But Sunderland were very fortunate not to have 2 red cards in this game. Corey Evans, a very, very bad challenge. I mean, he's come flying from nowhere. That was a red card. And then Luke O'Nien, naughty tackle, absolutely naughty tackle, right on the Achilles heel, as well. So I thought those 2 were very lucky to stay on the pitch. So Sunderland could have easily ended with 9 men. A draw was probably a fair result, though. A draw was probably a fair result. Both of these sides really want to sort of start getting the points, really, don't they? This is a tricky one to call because, as we said, Bristol City, I'm not sure where they're going this season. I mean, I have them to finish sort of mid-table. Sunderland, look, they are a newly promoted side as well. I'm going to go for a draw. I think the points will be shared at Ashton Gate. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Bristol City and Sunderland. And now we have Burnley against Luton Town. Burnley on the end of a 1-0 win over Huddersfield Town. Luton Town on the end of a 0-0 draw with Birmingham. And Burnley, that was a very good performance against Huddersfield. Very, very good indeed. I mean, I obviously did the watch along, obviously watched it as well. That is the best I've seen Burnley play for a long, long time. More possession. I think they made 500 passes in that game as well, which is obviously a record for them as well. Look, Burnley looked very, very good. Maatson, he looks a very good find. A very good finish from him. And I think Burnley should be okay going into the rest of the season. I really, really do. Luton Town, 0-0 with Birmingham. They had the better of the play, but never really looked like scoring, in all honesty. To be fair, as I said earlier, John Ruddy was very, very good in that game. So Burnley's first game back at Turf Moor in the Championship. I am thinking that Burnley are going to win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Burnley in that one. And now we have Preston North End against Hull City. Preston 0-0 with Wigan Athletic. Hull City 2-1 victors over Bristol City. Preston, I thought, played okay against Wigan. Very unlucky not to be on the end of a win. But I have to say, I thought Wigan played well. I thought Preston played well as well. Not a bad 0-0. Not a bad 0-0 in this one. Hull City... Excuse me. Hull City did win 2-1 thanks to a Jean-Michel Seri winner against Bristol City. Away form let them down last season, so it remains to be seen how well they'll do away. But for me, it is at Deepdale, and I think Preston are going to win this one. I'm going to go for a very narrow 1-0 victory to Preston North End. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Preston. QPR against Middlesbrough. This is an interesting one, actually. QPR lost 1-0 to Blackburn. Middlesbrough got a 1-1 draw with West Brom. Look, first things first, Blackburn beat QPR 1-0. An absolutely stunning goal by Lewis Travers. He's 35 yards out, curling, and Seny Dieng had absolutely no chance to get that save. A very, very good finish from them. So QPR will be one to obviously bounce back as well. Middlesbrough should have been outside against West Brom. They had so many chances in that first half, and they should have buried West Brom. Especially when Chris Wilder said that they should have been out of sight by the time that West Brom had equalised as well. Another tricky one to call. I'm actually going to go for I'm going to go for a wee goal fest in this one. Actually, I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw between QPR and Middlesbrough. I think there will be goals in this game, and it's just because obviously QPR were one of the highest scorers last season at Loftus Road, and Middlesbrough score goals for fun. So I am going to go for a 2-2 draw in that one. And now we have Reading against Cardiff City. Reading lost 1-0 to Blackpool and didn't they look very, very good. Cardiff City won 1-0 against Norwich. And actually, I thought Cardiff City were very, very impressive against Norwich. This is a really tricky one to call because Cardiff away from home last season weren't great. They were not too bad. They weren't too bad at the end of the season away from home, but majority of their season they weren't great. But Reading for me just look like a team devoid of ideas. They don't look like scoring. I struggle to see where the goals are coming from in this Reading side, and unfortunately, I just think that I think Cardiff are going to make it 2 from 2. I honestly do. I think Cardiff are going to make it 2 from 2. I'm going to go for Reading 1, Cardiff City 2. I think Cardiff City will win that one. Now we have Sheffield United against Millwall. Sheffield United lost 1-0 this evening to Watford. It has to be said, Watford did deserve to win that game. Millwall were on the end of a 2-0 win over Stoke City and currently sit top of the table as well. So, very interesting, actually. Sheffield United, it's disappointing because Watford did deserve to win in the end, but Sheffield United will be one to go back to, obviously, Bramall Lane. And I do think that they will, bounce back in this one. Millwall, very good win against Stoke City. I'm not taking anything away from it. I thought they were very, very good against Stoke, and 2 goals from Charlie Cresswell defending. Less to be a lot to be desired. It has to be said, but this is a very interesting game. This one because I look at these two, and I think that Sheffield United will want to bounce back. I think they will. I think they will bounce back. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Sheffield United. I think they will just bounce back in this one. Stoke City against Blackpool. Stoke City currently bottom of the Championship. Blackpool managed to get a 1-0 win over Reading. And actually, I thought they were pretty good. Looking very, very good against Reading as well. Stoke City, if you defend like that, you're not going to get anywhere. I'm sorry, but you left Charlie Cresswell unmarked from 2 set pieces. Absolutely ridiculous defending, it has to be said. To be fair, Blackpool, very, very good win against Reading. Very, very good win against Reading. Now, Stoke City, they flatter to deceive, right? So, the way I look at it, if Stoke lose the next couple of games, I think Michael O'Neill might be out of a job. I did say at the start, I did think he might be the first manager to be sacked, and it is looking likely. So I'm actually going to go for a shock win here. I'm going to go for a shock. I'm going to go for Blackpool to go to Stoke and carve out a 1-0 victory. I'm going to go for Blackpool to win 2 from 2. Stoke City 0, Blackpool 1. And now we have Swansea against Blackburn Rovers. Swansea drew 1-1 at Rotherham. How they drew 1-1 at Rotherham, I'll never know. Blackburn Rovers did manage to get a 1-0 win over QPR, and Lewis Travers with that wonderful goal as well. Look, Swansea did go behind very early on, but Harry Darling managed to get an absolute wonder goal from 25 yards out. Very, very good finish. Only Michael Obafemi will be wondering how he missed that. Swansea fans behind the goal will be wondering how he missed it. I mean, it looked easier to score than miss. So big let off for Rotherham. It has to be said. Blackburn, it's a hard one. I mean, Jon Dahl Tomasson has done very, very well so far in his managerial stint as Blackburn manager. But going to the what's it called? I mean, it used to be called the Liberty Stadium. Is it the Swansea City Stadium or something like that now? I honestly don't know, but do I go home win or do I go a draw? This is a hard one. This is a very, very hard one. I'm going to go for a Swansea win. I think Swansea will bounce back, and I think Michael Obafemi will bounce back from that horrible miss against Rotherham United. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Swansea in that one. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Swansea in that one. And then we move on to the Sunday game is Coventry City against Rotherham United. Coventry City 1-1 with Sunderland. Rotherham United 1-1 with Swansea. I actually thought Coventry City, right up until Gyökeres's goal, were looking the much better side to go on and win that game. Before that, I didn't think they had what they could get in terms of goals. So I think because they're obviously back at the Rico, I think they might get a couple of goals here. Rotherham don't travel away very, very well at all. But 1-1 draw with Swansea. They've got a point on the board. They'll be very, very happy with that. But going to the Rico, I think Coventry will rue their missed chances against Sunderland, but I think they will get some goals in this one. I think Coventry City are going to get a very, very handsome 3-1 win against Rotherham United. Now, once upon a time, this was a Premier League fixture. West Brom against Watford. West Brom 1-1 with Middlesbrough. In the last game, Watford beat Sheffield United this evening 1-0 in the end. West Brom will be kicking themselves how they didn't manage to beat Middlesbrough in the end. I mean, to be fair, Jed Wallace, John Swift combined very, very well for the goal. And that's good championship quality. When you've got two good players in Jed Wallace and John Swift, you know, they bought championship quality. Very, very good. Very, very good signings. And I was very impressed with the way that also Jed Wallace played. Nearly caught Zach Steffen off his line. He was very, very unlucky not to do so as well. Watford played well tonight. They played really, really well. João Pedro got the winning goal. This is another tricky one to call because, as I said, this used to be a Premier League fixture. I'm going to settle on a draw in this one. I think West Brom and Watford will draw in this one. I'm going to go for West Brom 1, Watford 1. And so that takes care of the match week 2 fixtures. Just get your predictions down in the comment section down below for the games that are going across the bottom of your screen. And I will go through my predictions very, very quickly. So I have gone for Birmingham City 0, Huddersfield Town 1, Norwich 2, Wigan 0, Bristol City 1, Sunderland 1, Burnley 2, Luton Town 0, Preston 1, Hull 0, QPR 2, Middlesbrough 2, Reading 1, Cardiff 2, Sheffield United 2, Millwall 0, Stoke City 0, Blackpool 1, Swansea City 2, Blackburn Rovers 1, Coventry City 3, Rotherham United 1, and West Brom 1, Watford 1. And there we go. That is match week number 2 of the EFL Championship done and dusted. Remember to get your predictions in the comment section down below. Thank you to the 14 of you who did play along in the comments for the last match week. So we can get that number again. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And like, share, and subscribe. Do what you can to support the channel. But I'll be back next week with match week number 3. And yeah, keep an eye out on the socials for when these videos are going to be released. But until then, I will see you very, very soon for match week number 3. Enjoy match week number 2. Some very, very good games on show. And I'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.